ballads, eerie wind, to night terrors, where every story is said to be real. Some are warnings, and some are better left forgotten. Tonight's story is one of those memories. A story that began when a child broke a rule his grandfather had warned him about. A rule that said, never whistle after dark. So turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and remember, if you hear a voice calling your name in the night, don't answer it. Story title: The First Encounter, age 10. It was late July, the summer of 1991. The heat shimmered over the desert roads behind my grandparents' house. I was 10, staying there with my brother Kant for 2 weeks while our parents were away. Kant was 8, always following me around. That afternoon, grandfather was skinning a rabbit. He looked up only once and asked, "Do you know why we never whistle at night?" I said no. He kept cutting and said softly, "Because whistling calls things that listen." He told me the story of a man named Chinley from before the long walk. A man who wanted power, immortality. He killed his own brother and wore his skin until it became his own. After that, he could wear the skin of anything: coyote, owl, deer, even human. I whispered, "Was he ever caught?" Grandfather didn't look up. He said, "You don't catch them. You avoid them. Never say their name. Don't whistle at night. Lock the doors. And if something moves wrong, run." That night, the house creaked with every gust of wind. It was too hot, so the windows stayed open. I lay awake, staring at the curtain gap, waiting for something to stare back. Then came scratching, metallic, sharp, something scraping the screen. Then silence. Then breathing. Heavy, wet, animal-like, but not a dog. I froze. My heart stopped. Minutes stretched into hours. Then footsteps outside. And then nothing. The next night, it came again. The scratching was louder this time. A stench filled the room, thick and rotten. Kant whispered, "Mason, what's that smell?" Before I could answer, we heard it. A voice. It said, "Let me in." The voice sounded exactly like Grandma. Kant screamed, slammed the window shut, and the sound vanished into silence. Morning came. Grandfather found claw marks on the screen, deep and wide. The frame was twisted, like something had pushed hard against it. He replaced it quietly. From then on, windows stayed shut. Sage burned every night. Ash lined the sills. But a few nights later, we heard heavy footsteps on the roof. Too heavy for any animal. We hid under the bed, praying for sunrise. Grandfather hung protective charms over every door. The creature never came back. But 3 weeks later, our dog, Checkers, vanished. He was my best friend, loyal, gentle, never left my side. That night, he went out for a few minutes. He never came back. We searched all night. Nothing. Posters, food on the porch. Still nothing. Until 12 days later, he returned. Chethers was sitting on the porch, still, silent,
too still. His fur was spotless, too clean. 12 days gone, yet he looked freshly bathed. Mom stepped forward to pet him. Suddenly, he snapped. Fast, violent, unrecognizable. My dad shouted, "Get back!" The thing that looked like Checkers twisted its head, unnatural, wrong, and whispered my name. Then it turned and ran into the woods. That was not my dog. Grandfather later said, "Some things take the skins of animals and of men. They feed on fear. They wear what they kill." The creature that came back wasn't Checkers. It was something wearing his skin. Whisper and if you ever hear scratching on your window at night, don't look, don't listen, and above all, don't whistle. This was Night Terrors, where fear finds a voice. Previously on Night Terrors, a boy learned never to whistle at night. He saw something that could wear a dog's skin. That boy grew up, but the darkness never stopped following him. It was 4:47 a.m., Saturday, October 2006. The call came through dispatch. A missing person near Sleeping Ute Mountain Trail, New Mexico. Name, Joseph Benelli, 32. His wife had reported him missing after he failed to return from a night hike. The temperature that morning was below 30 degrees. Frost clung to the trees, the mountain looming dark against the horizon. I reached the staging area in 25 minutes. 5 trucks were already there. Tracking dogs, volunteers, and Tom, a veteran ranger who had seen everything. Except this. We split into teams. I went with Sarah and Mark, along with Bear, the tracking dog. The trail began easy, then turned jagged and narrow. The deeper we went, the heavier the silence became. Then we saw them. Dead crows, lined neatly along a fallen log. Not torn apart, not eaten, arranged, deliberate. Bear stopped, whining softly. The air turned colder, almost 10 degrees less. The forest felt wrong, like it was holding its breath. Then came the smell, coppery, decayed, like something that had been dead for days. Sarah covered her face. Mark murmured, "Smells like death." Bear hesitated, trembling, before stepping forward. And there he was, Joseph Benelli. He looked fine. Too fine. Clean clothes, no frostbite, no sign of panic or exhaustion. But his eyes, they didn't look back. And voice, when I shone the flashlight on him, his pupils reacted, but he didn't blink. Not once. He stared past me, as if something behind me was more interesting than life itself. "Joseph," I said. No response. Then, slowly, he turned, mechanical, unnatural. His voice came flat and emotionless. "I'm fine. I want to go home." No fear, no relief, no humanity. Something inside me froze. This wasn't him. Sarah whispered, "Look at his hands." They were clean, too clean. The nails perfect. No dirt, no scratches, nothing human about them. Tom's voice crackled over the radio. "Do not approach. Observe from a distance." But I already knew. The way Joseph moved, The way he blinked, only when told to. The way the forest grew silent around him. This wasn't a man who had survived a night. It was something else. Something wearing him. The Skinwalker had returned. Only this time, it had learned to wear us. I stared at Joseph, or what used to be him, and remembered my grandfather's words. You don't catch them, you avoid them. And if something looks human, but feels wrong, run. That morning, I didn't run. I should have, because that wasn't the last time I saw Joseph Benally. It was only the beginning. Story title: The Second Encounter. Age 26. End of voice.